Welcome to another episode of Deep Rooted Ventilation hosted by Swollen Genius. But today will be the Takeover show with your girl Friday and Cindy. And today we also have a special guest, Keisha, my girl Keisha from Louisville, Kentucky. We're going to talk about um, being a doula, what a doula is, and the background of doulas, what Keisha does, what made her get into it. Also, Keisha, give a little background of Keisha. She's a mother, a wife, mother of three beautiful babies, and
Okay.
she works full time and do doula as well. So, Keisha, give us a little insight on what is a doula.
Hi. So doula, we're basically your support system. From the time you find out you're pregnant, we usually don't assist right away, but around the second trimester, we start coming in. We do prenatal appointments, all the way through your postpartum. If you have questions, we're there. If you need somebody to support you during labor, we're there.
Okay.
Um, we predominantly we're your voice during labor, and like I said, preterm or postpartum, we're there as well.
Okay. What made you actually get into becoming a doula?
So I've always done doula work. Um, since high school, at least since '03, '04, with family members having babies, and basically once they are in labor, basically like I'm coaching you through. So a doula shorten well typically help shorten your time being in labor. So we're helping you do breathing exercises, making you feel comfortable, stretches, walks. We're like I said, being your voice. I can't stress that enough because doctors and hospitals try to take over and direct you against what you want.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we're there for also. But I've done it. And then I would say of the last few years, I had a relative, she wasn't planning on having kids, but she was like, if I'm keeping this baby, you got to help me. And I helped her the entire pregnancy.
That's
If
good.
she had questions, she would ask me and then tell her doctor. Her doctor would be like, or she'll say, well, my cousin didn't say that. My cousin said XYZ. So ever since then, it was just like it clicked. Like this is what I should have been doing from the beginning.
Right. Okay, okay. Yeah, I should have when I was there and I had my baby. I should have reached out to you. Didn't know what a doula
Yes,
was. I
ma'am.
thought a doula and a midwife were basically the same, but they're not.
Mhm.
They're totally
They're
different.
not.
And
Mhm.
most people they feel like, oh, a doula's a midwife. No.
Nope, not the same.
Mm-mm.
Your midwife is there to birth your baby like a doctor.
Exactly.
We're there for your support.
Right. Because after having my daughter, I actually went through postpartum really, really bad, like
Mhm.
real bad, and it was during the pandemic too.
Mhm.
So if I would have known what I know now, yeah, your girl would have got a doula.
Mhm. Yep. 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 And I suffer from postpartum even myself. So just like everybody else, we go through it too.
Hmm.
But the benefit, like I said, for my doula, even postpartum, because I work with another organization outside of my own called Black Birth Justice, and we specialize in postpartum care. So I learned through training through them, even like just signs to look out for you, like if you're having issues or you don't even realize that you're going through postpartum or
Uh-huh.
any type of health issues. I guess to say postpartum, I'm there to look for signs or to tell
Okay.
your partner, okay, look for this, and this, because if so, you need to reach out to a doctor right away. That type of
Right.
situation.
Right. Okay.
Would you suggest women that know that they're high risk pregnancies to get a doula?
Absolutely, 100%. Yes. Um, Not only do we help with like shortening your time in labor, but for we just watch for everything. Like your job is just to worry about having the baby. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
As a pregnant person or mother or whatever, it's you just need to focus on the baby, not anything else. And even with high risk, because a lot of high risk women, doctors try to push C-section quick.
Mhm.
Hmm.
No, it's not
Yep.
necessarily true. It's always like, okay, if we wait 20 more minutes, what will happen? Just like
Right.
those type of questions. So I definitely suggest a high risk pregnancy a doula.
I wish I did not know about doulas when I was
Mhm.
pregnant. This was back in 2006, and
Mhm.
if you asked Friday, I had a horrible, horrible experience
Yes.
with my when I was pregnant with triplets. And I mean, because I, like you said, when you're pregnant and when you are already very emotional,
Mhm.
you're not thinking straight. And I
Right.
remember when my mother-in-law and my mom was in the hospital room with me when I had just lost my one of the triplets
Inside her down.
week prior to when I was in the hospital and lost the second triplet a week
Mhm.
later. And they wanted me to abort the third triplet, my daughter, because they said statistically I'm going to lose her anyway.
Loser.
And they wanted to put medication in my IV to abort her. And I wasn't thinking, I couldn't make that decision. And thank God my mothers were there to say,
Mhm.
no, if she's gonna lose her, let it happen naturally, not by y'all forcing it. And I'm
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
thinking, like, if I had a doula, that would have been
Yes, ma'am.
your
Yeah.
role there. But that's what they did though. When I went into labor, they tried to have me push when I was only about 7 centimeters dilated. Yep.
What?
Yep. And then they gave me medication to help induce labor. And then all of a
Mhm.
sudden they thought that my heart was racing, going too fast, and they realized it was the babies, and they raced me in there and gave me an emergency C-section, cut me up and down, not a bikini cut. It was horrible.
Yeah.
It was
Oh my
horrible.
God. Yeah,
Horrible.
it wouldn't have happened that way. Not saying, let me say this. I'm not saying like I'm not against just me personally as a doula. I'm not against a C-section. I'm not against medication. I had Pitocin and I can't even think of epidural personally, but everybody doesn't make that decision.
Hmm.
But at the same time, like I said, if you say like we'll make if I was your doula and you're pregnant now, we will make a plan prior to and say you like, I don't want medicine, I don't want a C-section. No, we're gonna figure it out. 10 hours into labor and you like, I don't want this, I don't want this, or go ahead and give it to me, give it to me. It's like, okay, this is what you said in your plan. You can change your mind at any time, but I'm here to remind you this is what you wanted. You're strong enough. I'm here to encourage you. And if okay, you're gonna die or you gotta have a C-section, then okay, we can make a decision at that time. But I'm not gonna allow you to push my patient to do something because you're impatient or you just it's just what you think needs to happen to get you through
It's a
this
money,
time.
yeah, it's a money thing
Mhm.
when doctors push C-section, C-section, C-section,
Absolutely.
It's more
and
money.
it's more money and it's quick. They can move on to the
Mhm.
next person,
Mhm.
and that's another C-section. They can move on to the next person. I'm not against
Mhm.
this C-section either because I had C-section twice,
Mhm.
but my last C-section, my first C-section, my doctor was great, was awesome. Like she was like a family member. She would talk crazy to me the whole nine. My last C-section, which was in Louisville, and I can't stand the doctors there for some reason. Ugh. But
I'm with you.
they like their doctors don't care. I mean, you have some that do care, but majority of them are in it for the money.
Hmm.
But I told them I don't take hard medicine. Don't give me nothing stronger than Tylenol.
Mhm.
Once I had my daughter, they was giving me medicine that I ain't never touched, ain't never like a narcotic, promise you. And
Yeah.
I could not stay up for the world to the point to
Mhm.
where I almost dropped my baby. And I had
Oh
to
my
ask my
goodness.
husband, what do they have me on? And
Right.
he a man. He a man. He like, I
Mhm.
don't know.
Oh
Look at your
no.
medicine.
Right.
No, I need you to ask these questions because I personally don't feel right.
Yep.
And when the nurse came in there, she was just like, oh, we got you on this. No,
Don't
no
say no
more.
more. That's
Because I'm
right.
not used to it. So that would have been where a doula would have stepped in and was like, "Hey, that's not what she want. She don't take hard medicine."
Absolutely.
So
Yep.
How much
Absolutely.
does how much does it cost to have a doula? I know that they vary depending
Mhm.
on the.
It varies. I mean, depending on the region, as to how long you've been doing it. Certifications and all of that. Um, it usually ranges, I would say, between 500 to 2,500. I mean, I know it's broad, But it
Mm-hmm.
just depends because at the end of the day, even if you're taking like I'm DONA trained, which is national organization, so that's added money,
Right.
um, certification on top of your basic training and certification. You can do outside stuff.
Okay.
There's doulas who specialize in like acupuncture and
Mm.
Really?
yeah, they just do from crazy to normal
Right.
stuff. But I mean, it just depends, or what I consider crazy. Let me say that. It just depends on. I mean, I guess the patient and what they want. So I've heard, like I said, from 500 to 2,500. Now, I personally have like a sliding scale, so I have my rate. But if there's a patient who needs, a lesser rate, I'm gonna,
Work with them.
negotiate it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So you're like your own boss. It's your own business.
Well, yes,
Right? You
ma'am.
don't work under no
Mm-mm.
company. Nice.
Which is great
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
because
Yep.
you can
And if you
basically
do
do
what you want, yep. And even if you do, though, I mean, they're contracted or, like I said, the Black Birth Justice I work for. Um, Sometimes you do it for free. It just depends, like I said, on the situation. So, but you have you can make that decision. So
right.
that's the benefit behind it.
Nice.
That is nice. That there's something in the community to where people don't
Mm-hmm.
have to actually say, for instance, they are on state insurance and it doesn't pay for it, or
Yep.
they in between jobs and the way the economy is. You never know,
Mm-hmm.
financially where they stand. So that's
Mm-hmm.
good.
Yeah,
That's
Mm-hmm.
and
good.
actually, I don't know if y'all know, but a lot of insurances are now starting to accept doulas as
Oh,
Really?
paraprofessionals. So if they're not paying, just say all of it, then they will pay a portion and you pay the other portion. It is
nice.
Okay.
new, so it's very limited, but it is major insurance companies that are doing it.
Right. That's good.
Definitely
That
something I
is
suggest the pregnant women to reach out to their insurance to find out.
Okay.
nice.
That's nice to know. So if anybody's out there listening and you pregnant, know somebody else that's pregnant, hey,
Mm-hmm.
check
Mm-hmm.
with your insurance, see if they cover it. And if not, find one in your area. Maybe they can work with you.
Yes, absolutely. Yes,
Yeah, that's
Awesome.
ma'am.
good. Right. That is so awesome to know.
How often what's your average amount of visits do you do? Or does it
So
depend or
if it's if I'm your full spectrum doula, so I'm handling pre labor and then post partum, I would do 2 to 3 visits prior to having the baby, and that's even like an introductory. So it's because you're not gonna connect with everybody. Everybody's not gonna connect with you. So it's kind of like an interview. But once you get through that, I'm going to check on you. We're making a birth plan. We're practicing exercises and showing you different stuff, as well as meeting who your birth partner will be if you have one, um, and going over and answering any questions with them. And then the actual labor, and then postpartum, usually 2 to 3 sessions as well.
okay.
That's good because
Yeah.
once you have your baby, your doctor basically kick you to the curb. We'll
Mm-hmm.
see.
So you have
We'll
to
see you in a
stay
year
loose.
after your yeah. After that, we see you in a year. You be like, well, what
Yeah.
about in between that? Maybe I'm going through
Mm-hmm.
something.
Yeah. See, we usually try to do at least one appointment within a week or two after you have the baby.
Okay,
And
that's
we'll
good.
go over what you feel was good, what you think could have been better as far as like your labor experience, and just talk and check. I'll check not your vitals, but I'll look for signs of like too much blood or that type of stuff. So yeah.
Making sure they're healing correctly.
Yep.
Have
Yep.
you ever had a water birth? Have you ever had one with a water birth?
No, not yet. But
Okay.
I would love one actually.
That could
Yeah.
be
I would love
scary.
one. Yes,
Somebody
I would
doing
love
all that
one.
hollering and they not medicated. Oh God, that make my nerves bad. Be like, no, both of us
Like,
can't be in
oh
here
no, no.
screaming.
Telling you.
I'm gonna need you to take several deep breaths, and I'm gonna take with you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, oh gosh. Have you seen anybody like pass out in the process of watching a birth or anything like that? You know how you see that on TV or you hear somebody saying, "Oh, my husband passed out."
No, I have had where it's like, sorry, y'all, you heard a baby if he's crying.
You fine, girl.
I've had where he hasn't like passed out, but it's like freaking out. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God, what you doing? Even though we talked about, okay, this could happen. It's like, you
Right.
just got to remind them, of the steps of, okay, this is normal, she's starting to feel it's active labor, all of that. So that's it. But nobody passed out yet. Lord Jesus. I said, I don't, y'all can come and get him up. No, we
Escort
get him
him
some
out
ice
to the
and
lobby.
water. Get him some ice and some water and, help him up. But that's it. It's been pretty cool so far. So hopefully.
So no emergencies. Have you ever had?
I haven't had an emergency. I actually had a late labor recently. So, well, late birth. She was due to have the baby for 2.5 weeks later. And it was like, okay, now it's time. And it's like, hold
Oh
on.
my.
Yeah, like, because usually you're on call from 37 to 41 or 42 weeks. And it's a fast point. But it was like, I'm doing it natural. Okay. I'm here to support you.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now you say you work full time.
I do.
So have you ever had someone go into labor when you were actually working your full-time job and you had to like leave your work or?
Yes. And it's more
wow.
so like, I gotta go. I don't tell them my business, I guess to
Right.
say, as far as why I'm leaving
I
and
have
all
an
of that.
emergency. Yeah.
But they're
Because
flexible though with you to where, okay.
I mean, it's like, okay, we can't stop you. We can't say no.
Okay.
Because I
Right.
do work from home,
Okay.
Okay.
but it's
Okay.
like, okay, I got to go. And that's it. I don't tell them why I
Right.
left when I get back, but it's like I gotta go. At the end of the day, my patient, I guess
This
to
comes
say,
first.
comes first. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm contracted with you. I'm gonna make sure I take care of you. And that's just
Yeah.
what it is.
Gotcha. Perfect.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah. That's good to know that, they come first and not
Mhm.
last or,
Yep.
second. So that's good
And
to
that's
know that that
another
priority.
thing. I was gonna say, working full time, I make sure not to take on too many clients at once.
Yeah.
Because I have to balance on top of, like I said, working and my clients. I have to be a mom and, a
Hmm.
wife. So it's
Yeah.
like,
And
gotta
those are
balance.
jobs too. Yeah.
Jobs in themselves, yes.
Yes, that is. Well, if someone
Eventually, I
wanted to
will
reach
love. Go
to be
ahead.
your own boss, yeah,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
do that full time, yeah, that happen. Your
Absolutely.
clientele go. It's 2022.
Thank you,
Clientele's
girl.
go boom, girl. I
Yeah.
promise you,
All these pandemic babies are coming.
girl. Woo. And they a different breed of babies too.
Ain't
When I
they?
say a
Yes,
different
ma'am.
breed, they a different breed of kids.
Mhm.
Lord, maybe they'll be better than that crazy generation we got running around
Girl.
now. They gonna respect life more than anything.
Sorry,
Oh,
y'all.
little man.
He
How
just
old is he
wants
now,
so much.
Keisha?
One, but he couldn't reach me, so he's upset.
Oh.
Oh, at the bottom. Okay, yeah. Sound like my baby. Be hollering. So if somebody you work in Indiana as well? Southern
I
Indiana?
can work really anywhere in the U.S.
Okay.
really. So yeah, I mean, I'm taking clients in Louisville, Indiana, Lexington. I'll
Oh
go
wow.
Cincinnati. Because it's not
Okay.
far.
It's
Maybe
not.
an hour and a half. So I'll go.
Okay. If they wanted to reach you, how could they reach out to you? Is there a website, emails, phone?
They can email or phone or my social media, which is
Okay.
Nurture and Bliss Doula Services, and that's on Instagram and Facebook.
Okay.
My email is the same, Nurture and Bliss Doula Services at gmail.com. But
Okay.
contact me, we can talk. If you need a virtual doula, I'll do that. I'm
Okay.
open across the board.
That's
Definitely.
good. Okay. You have anything else, Miss Cindy?
No, this is very good. I love it.
Very
Yeah.
educational.
Yes.
Very educational. Because, like I
Well,
said, I
thank
ain't know
y'all.
nothing about no doula. I thought doula and midwife was the same thing. They just wanted to call it
Hmm.
something different, fancy. You know? So I did my research. I was like, oh, one can deliver babies, one can't, one there for this. And I was like,
Hmm.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
So anybody that's out there, once again, that's listening, I recommend a doula all
absolutely,
day,
100%.
every day.
Yes.
And
Yes.
just because I didn't have one and the things that I went through, I would recommend
Hmm.
everybody. That's your voice. The doula is your voice.
Exactly. Yeah.
Reach out, find you one in your local area. And if you have any questions on our YouTube channel, make sure to write that in the comments. Or in the comments, you will also see below how to get in contact with Keisha if you're in the Louisville, New Albany, Clarksville, Cincinnati, Lexington, Frankfurt, all those good old areas, Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Everywhere, yes.
Yes. Even if y'all, well, I don't know, I'm not gonna say around the world. Keisha might charge you a little more because
Hey,
she go
listen, she
Traveling
gonna come.
fees.
right.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey.
But she gonna cut your call. She consultation first.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
I'll let it be in the comments. Make sure everyone subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like, share, go to Keisha's page, like and share on Instagram and Facebook. And it's been real. It's another one for us in the book in 2022. Our first one. We got multiple to
Yes.
come. Thank you, Keisha. You and your beautiful baby
Thank
boy.
you,
Thank you.
Keisha.
Look at him looking. Hi, man. You came in on the end, but we want to say hi.
Hi.
All right, we're about to end our
Thanks,
show.
Keisha.
Thank you,
Thank
Keisha,
you. I
Deep
appreciate
Rooted
y'all.
Ventilation Podcast. Y'all have a great day.